All right, Wayne Bettis here, the founder of the Off the Tools podcast. I just want to introduce you to our brand new sponsor, directplumbing.supplies.com. It is founded by a former tradesman who has set up his own plumbing and heating merchants. He has an online shop, which is obviously at directplumbing.supplies.com, and he delivers across the UK. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the show. Up next, we have Jordan Jack, who is another ex-serviceman. Welcome to the Trades Growth Summit. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Firstly, thank you very much for taking time out of your day. You know, see you're in your van, so we know you're busy working and grafting. So I really appreciate the time that you're giving us to help us share some stories and raise money for Help for Heroes. If you haven't donated, get over and donate. If you have donated, that's still not an excuse to go back and donate again. So let's hit that 10 grand target, everybody. Right. So Jordan, just tell us a little bit about your sort of early life, your life in the army, and yeah, just take us through a bit of your history.
So early life, I grew up in the military. My dad was in it. He joined when I was 4 years old. So it was always something I've been around. And then, yeah, pretty much moved around with my dad until I joined the army, to be honest with you. And then, yeah, there we are. And then I joined and went back to Germany.
What age was it that you joined?
I was just before my 18th birthday. So, I was 17. Because I was away on basic training on my 18th birthday down in Brecon. Yeah, down in Brecon Beacons for my sins.
You mentioned you travelled around, obviously, with your dad being in the army. So was that? Did I hear you mention Germany? You went to Germany as well, did you?
Yeah. So my dad's first posting was Germany,
okay.
And then my first posting, ironically, was Germany as well.
Okay. So was it life growing up in the army then, as a child? Do you go to special schools, military schools, or is it just you just move and you just find the local school and crack on? How does that work?
No, it's pretty much that. So as a pad brat, you just go to that local school.
What did you call yourself there?
Pad brats.
Right. Is that a little nickname? Is it that you guys are?
Yeah, little pad brats growing up. So they weren't military schools as such, but when you move to Katyia Garrison, is like one of the largest garrisons in Europe, I think, or is the largest garrison in Europe. There's so many other people in your situation as well that it kind of does turn into a military school because like everyone's parents or near enough everyone's parents are in the military.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So moving around, did that have any impact on you as a kid, or was it just what you knew? You know, just what I know.
Just what I knew. It toughens you up in a certain respect because you're always put into different situations no matter where you go. There's always different people, right? So yeah, it's just part and parcel of life towards
Cool. Was it always just a given that you were gonna join up, or was it did something change for you to make that?
So I left home I left school just like I was one of them weird ones. So my 16th birthday fell after I left school. So I left school and then I moved back to Scotland actually. And then I got into the trade. So my first trade was actually a carpet fitter. But then I started doing bits and pieces with like family friends that were plumbers as well. And that's kind of what got me interested to begin with. And it was just, Scotland at the time just wasn't the place to be for money. Got a bit bored, young and dumb, joined the army.
And what did you join? Like what did you do?
So I joined the RLC for a number of reasons.
So remember, I'm a novice here. So what is that?
So logistics, Royal Logistic Corps. Okay. And when you speak to other people, you say, "I've got a lad from the RLC." They go, "Oh, he's thick." I'm not. At the time, there was a mad influx to join the army, and there was a waiting list or I was told there was a waiting list for some trades, the trades I wanted, or there was a 2-week entry for the RLC. So 2 weeks later, I joined the RLC. just to get in, basically.
Yeah. So what year was this then? Like, I'm trying to gauge how old you are. So was this early 2000s, late?
Yeah, so that was when I signed up, went through all selection, the barb tests, all that sort of stuff. That was like towards the later end of 2007.
Oh, okay.
And then 14th of January 2008 is when I started my basic training.
Wow. Okay. So you joined up right in the midst of, the country at war with Iraq and Afghanistan and everything. And so with the real prospect that, wow.
Yeah.
And then,
so, we used to sit and watch when we get a couple hours spare, the staff would put us in front of Ross Kemp in Afghanistan and just be like, get used to it.
You could be going there soon, sort of thing.
Oh, no, they were just like, you are going there. Get used to it.
Wow.
Yeah. None of this you could be. It was just like, you are going. Be prepared.
Wow, Jesus. Any man or lady that has served our country, I have the utmost respect for, because to willingly put yourself forward to join up and it's just that takes different level of
you'll
force,
find
I think is probably the word to use.
When you speak to people throughout your interviews, you'll find that a lot of them didn't actually have like the fear of Afghan. It's almost like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's almost like you want to do it. Yeah. Like, you're disappointed if you don't get selected to go, sort of thing. It was one of them. It's weird. You don't think about it as in going to die out there, sort of thing, or going to get injured, or we're going to get attacked daily, or whatever. You don't think about it like that. You're just like, I want to go.
Yeah, I suppose in a very unrelated way, it's sort of like you've trained to be a plumber. You want to go and fix a leak, didn't you? You know what I mean? You've trained to be in the army. You want to go and be a soldier.
Yeah, nail on the head, right there. Like if someone phoned you, so like case in point, my brother-in-law phoned me the other day. We're getting water damage. We've paid for leak detection, all this, couldn't find it. And like yourself, if someone phoned you and said, we've had 4 engineers out, couldn't fix my boiler, can you come out? And you go out and you fix it, instantly. You have that sense of self-pride, right?
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. Like, it's what you do, it's what you've trained to do, it's what you want to do. Yeah.
So after your basic training and your logistics stuff, what happened there then? You went to Germany, I think you said.
Yeah, so I did Lichfield, which was good because at the time Lichfield was closing down. So we did a mixed cat badge sort of thing. It was predominantly for the signals and engineers, but they just chucked everyone in there the last time. Had a massive closing down parade, stood there for hours with a weapon in your arm at the end. Killer. Deep cut, Leckingfield, and then, straight out to Germany.
And how long was you out in Germany for?
I was out 2.5 years, I think it was. Yeah, it would have been 2 years, 2 and a bit years.
So what sort of thing goes on over there then? Because obviously we're not at war. We're not.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. So as an 18-year-old in Germany, as you can imagine, there's probably a lot of drinking over there. It's a different life culture in Germany. So in the UK, 98% of regiments, when they go home on a Friday, they'll have a late start on a Monday. So lads can travel, get their kit sorted, on the Sunday. So you generally get about a 10 o'clock start. And I would say 70% of the regiment will disappear home for the weekend. In Germany, you'd be lucky if 20% went home once a month. It's a complete different culture. So as you can imagine, there was a lot of drinking involved. But no, I was part of a supply regiment out in Germany, and we were pretty much like core of our job. We'd be working on the vehicles all the time. Would be out on details when we weren't working on vehicles, just basically being, to a point, a delivery driver and a glorified chauffeur. I think it's the best way to explain it to you.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But we were on, like I say, we were on one of the busiest supply camps, one of the smallest camps as well, to be fair. But we had a big civilian detachment at the back. So we had the ammos, we had the ammunition, medical.
So is it like a big army distribution center, so to speak, to put it into layman's terms?
That one was just because of the civilian element, the German civilian element. I think we had some like 21 warehouses, all through different, similar to the civil service, just the German civil service. Like I say, ammunition, medical supplies, all that went through there. And then we had a train track at the back where the nuclear train from Germany would pass through once a year as well. Get all the protesters out. It was great. But yeah, that was a different experience. And then went to Colchester. Was in Colchester for I think 3 days. The staff sergeant just went, "You're on the Orbat to go to Afghan. You're coming with us." Happy days.
Wow. So yeah. you got a tour of Afghan as well?
Yeah, so we did the pre-deployment training, and then straight out to Afghan. It was good fun.
How long was you out there for? 6 months?
I think mine worked out at about 6.5 in the end. It was below the 7 for certain reasons, like just what the military said. But it was just over 6 months I was out there for.
Wow. And where was you stationed at one place, like Helmand? Or...
So I went out as a fuel supplier. And if you speak to any of the infantry lot, when you get these people attached to you, they just see you as an extra pair of legs and an extra body and an extra weapon. But we went. So I went out to a place called Budwan. It was a Danish camp that got shut down, and the Nadi Ali district as well.
Oh, right. And then, what was your role there? Fuel distributor. So what was that transporting? Yeah.
So we drive around in the fuel tankers. Ironically, water as well. So one of the ones down in the Nadali district, we went there when the Gurkhas were still there, helping build it, which was a different experience. And just give them water just so they could like cook, clean, general stuff. Come back from that. I was unlucky for what went home at home. I'd got the first R&R slot, so I was out there went on the 9th of September, like the 20th of November, I was on my R&R for 2 weeks, and I was back out there for like the 4.5 months log. But it was good fun, real good fun.
And was it just the one tour you got, or did you get go back again?
Nah, so we all got like a bit excited with it coming towards the end, thought like this is class sort of thing. So we did offer to do a back-to-back tour, but it got shut down so quick.
Yeah. So you enjoyed your time there?
Yeah, I loved it. It was fantastic. Yeah. I got to meet so many different cat badges, different sectors of the army, the RAF, the Navy. Just an all-out, just like an experience of seeing other people do their job, helping them do their job, doing my own job, interacting with the locals, get some funny stories. You know it is.
Yeah. What any key life lessons you took away from there? Like any life-changing, things happen for you there?
No matter what you are, we're all human.
Yeah.
I've seen people when you see homeless people in the UK, you think they've got nothing. If that's the bar for nothing in the UK, I've seen people with less than nothing, still happy, still going about, still, hustling, still doing their stuff, still interacting, still cheerful, still just thankful they're, albeit in a war zone, but still thankful they're still alive. So no matter
what. Are you referring to the locals, the Afghanis and that?
Yeah. No matter what you think, we're all human.
Is there this is a bit of a random question, but like over here, you've obviously got a little bit of a class divide. You've got sort of working class, middle class, upper class. Over there, is there rich areas? Is there affluent areas, even in a war zone, or is it not like that at all?
Lashkar. So I think I'll be all right saying this. So Lashkar. So basically, when you do a CLP, which is a combat logistics patrol, like a massive vehicle convoy to deliver stuff all over Afghan, you will change your routes. You won't always drive the same way, because the Taliban will be like, this is the 4th time they've come down this road in 3 days. Go and stick a bomb down there. Let's wait for them to come back down. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing. So you always change your routes. I always remember Lashkar, when we were doing our operation out there, just driving through a desert, mud huts, like just generally like middle of nowhere. Next thing, solid tarmac, gates, boom, like gated houses, car dealerships. And it was just like, I don't know, it's weird. It was just like you just drove into this like not a third world country that was struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mental. Yeah. Proper like nice houses as well.
Yeah.
Big
And
fancy
out of the
gold
blue,
gates.
not like a build up to it, not slowly getting
No,
better.
it's
It was just
obviously,
nothing. Bang, here's an estate.
We literally just come out the desert, turned onto the highway, driving down, and yeah, you just seen like, big archway. Here we are. Yeah. So
wow.
yeah, you do have, the richer ones. But their status. So in the UK, if you've got lots of money, your status is high. If you're a millionaire, your status is high in the UK. Out there, it's village elders. It's the elders of the community. That's their status. That's the higher. That's what they would class as like our money table sort of thing. Yeah, you're a village elder. You could be piss poor, to be quite honest with you, but if you're a village elder, you're the village elder. So yeah.
So the respect comes with time served, then, rather than money earned.
Yeah, and I suppose the way the family name for them as well. But yeah, it was that was surreal. Just driving through and then last week.
Yeah, I bet that's half why I asked the question, because I was just like genuine. Obviously, we see the news, didn't you? And you see the compounds, the goat herders, waddling around, and you never really see anything else. But I was like, well, there must be other things going on there,
Right, here's one for you. So we went out on a winter tour, and I know people say, "Oh, it's the desert, it's nice and hot." It was freezing. It was Baltic, and it rained a lot. So we went out on the winter tour, and one of our vehicles. Yeah.
So you're in the middle of the desert. You're cold and it's wet.
One night we checked the temperature in our tent at one of the bases at PB5 in the Nadi Ali district, and it was -8 in the tent. Yeah.
Wow.
Freezing. So we were on a so between my R&R and me going out to Budwan, I spent, I think it was like 2 weeks in Bastion. So I went out on a few ops then, and one of our vehicles got bogged down in the sand. It happens, it's happened to everyone. Got bogged down in the sand, and I kid you not, we were in the middle of nowhere. This kiddie had about 5 camels and a dog just walked past us. Like, where on earth did you? We're like, come here, and you come over, like, where have you just come from? Like, we've been driving for hours, and you just showed up. Kept walking. Like, didn't just wasn't following us, wasn't there being suspicious or anything. It was literally just walked past in the background, like he was just going about his day. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
Mental. Yeah, just like.
Did you get to spend time with the locals at all, or is it not that environment?
No. So when I was down in PB5, when I first went there was literally just like a squadron of Gurkhas there. An RAF regiment sergeant, and a couple of other trades. But this RAF regiment, Gordon, his name was, this RAF regiment sergeant, I got chatting with him, and we got along just fine. So I started helping him out doing stuff. But what his job was the army had the big thing. So hearts and minds, basically, is what it is. They had to start winning the locals over after the Americans went there and just basically shot everyone, and that was what they were told to do. So we'd get all the village elders, the tradesmen, all stuff like that, and say, for example, one of the farmers said, every time I try and cross this little little stream between his fields, his tractor gets stuck. Can you fund us to build a bridge? So this was the sort of meetings they'd have. So I'd have to stop them, search them, chat away to them on the gate, just stuff like that. So yeah, we had a bit of interaction, close up.
Oh. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, we had some interaction.
One last question on your serving days, and you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but what have you got an opinion on what's happened the last few months, or would you rather just totally respect if you would rather not talk about it, so no pressure?
So I've lost friends through Afghan. I've lost friends through PTSD. I've just lost friends that just couldn't cope, right? And I was it's luckily, in touch wood, I've not had anyone in a couple of years. that's been friends. But that was caused by our involvement in Afghan. Deep down, that was caused by our involvement in Afghan. To be perfectly honest with you, it's no longer our problem. We didn't fail them. We didn't even set them up to fail. We set them up to win.
Yeah.
And for like people that are saying, "Oh, we can't just leave them there. We can't just stay there at the same time." Like it's no. And then I read a comment somewhere, and people were like, "It's showing no respect for those that died." And then part of me was just like, "What? So do we just send another 10,000 troops back and have another 467 dead in the war zone? Never mind the thousands that have come home and topped themselves because they just couldn't cope because there was nothing there to help them. Like, do you think that's acceptable, or do we just pull out, stop throwing money at something that is not going to succeed?" And I know it's not going to succeed because we trained the Afghan National Police. We put them out with the Gurkha Regiment. Gurkha Regiment are a very fierce and very strong regiment. They're out on patrol, sat down for a rest. The Gurkhas hadn't had a sleep. One or two of them stood up and shot 13 of them dead while their back was turned, and their eyes were closed. Like, you know what I mean? It was on the press. It was in the news. That was in 2010, and I was just like, "Are you forgetting this happened?" So then, that wasn't just a one-off occasion. That happened like 2 or 3 times. So we started taking weapons off the AMP when they come into our camps. AMP clicked onto it. The Taliban clicked onto it. So they started getting the police to dress as the A&A, who we trained and trusted, and then the A&A were shooting us. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, why should we go back there? We helped them set up. The SF trained them, the Reg, Marines. They all spent all this time training these people up. Like our top regiments training these people up. And they give up.
I bet they've probably just converted straight into the Taliban, haven't they?
Because of fear, right? And I have seen, and it is genuine fear, in all fairness. I have seen fear of the locals when the Taliban get mentioned around them. I've seen them disperse. It's quicker than they gathered, sort of thing. And I'm just like, we've wasted all this money. We've given them the best training physically possible in the conditions, and they fell within a week.
Yeah.
Because they lacked the backbone of not having us, the Americans, the Danish, the Estonians, not having us there to basically do it for them.
Yeah.
Because the Taliban, when they come at all them countries or them forces I've just mentioned, they know they're going to get a fight. Like we had an Estonian sniper, and I think he got one of the best shots I've ever seen. They know they're going to get trained soldiers, disciplined, who are ready to fight.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And they're not there. They know they weren't going to get that with the homegrown, didn't they?
A week to take over a country, I think, shows that, right?
So I don't think anyone's capitulated like that, have they? Before that quick?
No. I mean, yeah, they were defeated before the Taliban started, and I'm just like, why should we go back there, right? It's no longer our problem. We tried, we succeeded, like we suppressed the Taliban quite a lot
for 20 years, yeah, or whatever it was. Like,
don't get me wrong. Did we get it wrong? Probably. It took one of the American top 5-star generals or whatever he was to sort it out. But yeah, don't go back there. Why would we? Why should we kill more of our own to help someone, and then for another 20 years for them to do the same?
I think it was Joe Biden, wasn't it, that basically said that he wasn't willing to lay down more lives for people that weren't willing to defend their own. Do you know what I mean?
I think with America, I think Biden screwed up a little bit because it was actually Trump who said, "We will come out, don't piss about," to the Taliban. And they were like, "You're probably more insecure than us." Fair enough, sort of thing, right? And then, whatever's happened with them, and it's just, it's not set us up well. But definitely just stay out of that country.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
right. Well, let's move on to a bit more of a positive note. And before we move on, thank you. Everyone owes people like you a huge debt. Without brave men and women, how would we be living? And the work that Help for Heroes does, Jordan mentioned about, like, sadly, some friends and stuff that have suffered after. Without charities like Help for Heroes, there would be less support for these brave men and women. So please make sure you donate.
Oh, massively. With Help for Heroes as well, they didn't just raise the money, they raised the publicity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They got the public wearing their hoodies. Like,
Yeah.
when was the last time you've seen someone walking around with an armed forces charity or hoodie on that was nothing to do with the military? So yeah, Help for Heroes. I appreciate they get bad press or whatever. No one's perfect, but they raise the publicity, and their Tidworth House, I think it's called, Tadworth House, is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal setup.
I've never been, and I would love to. Maybe this might lead us into sort of doing some interviews with them up there. But it would be fantastic to see. Excuse me, sorry.
That's right.
Excuse me, sorry, very unprofessional. Yeah.
That's right.
So obviously, after this stint in the army, and the tours that you did, and what was the process? When did you decide enough's enough? I want to get out and get back to civilian life.
About 5 months after my tour finished, we come back off tour. It come to be the people within the chain of command retiring, just getting out themselves or being posted, due to promotion. And we had a sergeant major, Neil Fraser, Crazy Fraser, we all used to call him. But he was, a spot on bloke. He would look after you. Don't get me wrong, he's a sergeant major. He's there to enforce discipline. And if you cocked up, he'd let you know about it. But apart from that, he'd look after you. So he left, which was, is what it is. And then we had a new sergeant major, Mossy, come in, again, top bloke. But it was just like the powers that be above him, where they changed, it made his life difficult. And at that point, I was just like, done with being a kid, got into a bit of trouble, got the opportunity to get out.
And then what led you then into your trade? How did that transition happen?
So, like I said, I did do a bit beforehand, and then it was just kind of fell into it by accident through friends and family. Did some other stuff when I first got out. And then, got back into the plumbing. Did my courses, got, time served with companies, and then decided to go self-employed.
Right. So obviously, how have you found that? How long have you been going? Tell us a little bit about what you're doing now then.
So I think 2018 we went self-employed, me and my business partner. 2019 we went limited, VAT registered. And I wouldn't say every day's a struggle, but every day's a challenge. Not so much on the work side, because you can pick tools up and that's the easy bit. It's the background stuff that people, like me included, like before I started doing it, just didn't realize what actually happened, and how much effort it actually takes to not even run a successful business, but to run a business that can generate enough money to pay overheads to keep that business running, So every day's a challenge, but it's going well. We did start off on the plumbing, bathrooms, drainage, heating, all that sort of jazz. But we're lucky. We've got one of the guys who can build anything out of wood. Well, pretty much do anything but lay bricks, to be quite honest with you. So we have ventured into a couple of little bits here and there. Commercial starting to pick up again. Yeah, it's just madness at the minute.
So what's the size of your company then? You said you've got a partner, so
business partner. So I'd say we're still an SME. We're not massive at all. Turnover, for in effect a 2-person business, I think is quite good. We've got some subcontractors within the area that they're shy of work or we need them. We both come in and we go and tackle the big jobs as like a team sort of thing. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And how long have you been established, did you say?
So as a limited company since May 2019.
Oh,
maybe
cool. So
May 2020. Yeah, I've been going self-employed a couple of years now, yeah.
Oh, excellent. And you mentioned that the doing the job is more the easy part. It's the business side that throws the hurdles up. How have you just sort of learn, fail at trial and error, or have you sought out advice, guidance from other people? How has that worked?
You've got to go for trial and error, right? Unless you test something and if it goes wrong, to change it. This is not like a dig at like yourself or other successful people. One of my biggest mistakes, I think, when I first went limited and, proper, we're now registered company sort of thing, was joining the Off the Tools group. Mm-hmm. Because although I've had some fantastic advice, pointers, ideas off of it, at first, where I was just beginning and I was like fighting for every bit of work, every penny that comes through the door, and then you're comparing yourself to people like, like yourself, like Francis, that are absolutely smashing it. And the measuring stick's not fair because, like, yourself, the background work you've put in and the graft, you didn't just fall into it and someone went, here's a massive company or here's a very successful idea, So yeah, when you're like, you can get a bit, not defeated, but you can be like, I want to be like him. Why is he getting it and not me? But then, yeah. You have to just kind of block that out,
Yeah, I totally get that. And I've always tried to show both sides of it. If I've had a bad week, if I've had stuff go wrong, I try to share that just as much as I share when things are going well. Because it ain't all sunshine and rainbows, no. As everyone knows that.
It's important as well.
Social media is just a highlight reel, isn't it, for most? And
this is it.
Yeah. So although it serves people well, it can, like you say, that you're not the first person to say that, and say sometimes it can be a bit disheartening, I suppose, is probably the best word, when you're looking and thinking, well, why is it not happening for me? Why is it not happening for me yet?
But now that I've been in the business sector a little while, I don't look at it like, it's almost like a bit of jealousy to begin with, like, why has he got it and I've not, sort of thing. I don't look at it like that now. I look at it and be like, what's he doing that I'm not, sort of thing, Not that I'm doing it wrong and like, someone else is doing it super, but just what's he doing that I'm not? Like, how can I adopt his, not to copy, but just to learn from people.
Yeah.
And that's what that group's kind of turned into for me now, is a way of learning.
And that's what the whole point of it was for, because there's people in there that I look at and think, right, well, if I want to go up the next level, if I want to take the next step, I've got to start looking at what these boys and girls are doing, and hopefully I'm that person for people that are earlier on down the train. Do you know what I mean? It's a constant evolution, isn't it?
People like yourself and Francis as an online presence, because I've not met you face to face, so you're a real person, but as an online presence, so to speak, you are the measuring stick for that online. If you don't know anyone, so I'm new to the Swindon area. I say new, I've been here about 4 years now. I didn't grow up here, I don't know many people. You need someone to be that measuring stick. But there's also a guy on the Off the Tools called Pete McCallum. Don't know if you know him. He's a Sparky around here, quite a good friend of mine. So he's also a measuring stick for me. So I'm lucky because I'm getting like all this like basically free advice off of people, and they're going, whether it's yourself and saying, "Oh, I've tried this week, try it," and I've got Pete saying, "Yeah, but if you look at it this way, George, it will help you out." And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm lucky, very lucky."
Yeah. It's proven as well that peer-to-peer learning is the best way. Like discussions with people that are on the same wavelength. It just helps everyone along.
Because you've been through it, So, improvise, adapt, and overcome is what they used to say in the military. So,
yeah, I'd second that, definitely.
You can do that. You're laughing, and key. Like I say, the key to business is you'll never know it all. So if you go in with the attitude of I know it all, I'm going to be awesome, chances are you're not. If you go in there, be like, holy shit, what am I doing here, sort of thing, and learn off of people. Onto a success, right?
Yeah, open mind. That's what I call it. You've got to have an open mind, and be conscious enough and get out your own way. Don't, like, when I had my first business, I thought I knew it all. I thought, I ain't listening to other people. Why am I going to listen to, what the hell? And obviously it all fell on its face, So,
No, I agree with you.
It's been lovely speaking to you, Jordan. Thank you for taking part. It's been good to hear your military history and, and how you transitioned out into civilian life, and obviously now running a decent business with your partner, which is fantastic. I wish you all the success.
Thank you very much.
And everyone listening and watching, please make sure that you're donated to Help for Heroes. It's all raising money for a great cause. And unless you've got anything else to say, Jordan, I'll end this episode now.
Nah, spot on. You and the guys keep up the good work. Like I say, you are doing really well. I'm excited to see what comes from it.
Lovely.
So
Thank you. See you on the next show, guys.
Cheers, man. Bye, mate.
I really hope you enjoyed the show. I just wanted to pull it out there for anyone listening that I offer business coaching, but also life coaching. My life is centered around something called the 3 Bs, which stands for body, business, and balance. When you work with me as a coach, we tackle all 3 aspects of life. So you as an individual, body, mindset, health, fitness, knowledge, education. Business B obviously stands for your business, improving, maximizing opportunities, elevating, making more money. And balance stands for your friends, family, loved ones, making time for everything in your life. And the 3 Bs is the core element to that. If you'd like to learn more, I would ask you to reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you might be consuming my information. Or you can email me directly at wayne@offthetools.co.uk. I'm here waiting to assist you to elevate across all aspects of life. Have a good one. No excuses. Let's go.